Stop shopping at Target without me. Well, hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, get excited because I have a special Target shop with me video appropriate for the season. It is all things sunscreen. So without further ado, let's head on in before you guys melt off my dashboard because it is so hot, you're almost guaranteed to overheat if I keep filming here. So let's get inside and be AC'd. Well, look what's new. Sun Bomb came out with a gel sunscreen and it is fragrance-free, SPF 50, water-resistant, 80 minutes. That's one I definitely like to give a try. Gel sunscreens tend to be less greasy, preferable for people with oily, acne-prone skin. It's a chemical sunscreen, so no white cast probably. Interesting. Then they also have a daily body. You get 8 ounces, SPF 50, water resistant. Excited to see this. This also, oh, this one has fragrance in it, which is, you know, okay if you're not allergic, but man, it really does seem to attract the mosquitoes depending on the fragrance. And they have an SPF 70, water resistant. SPF 70 technically isn't much different than SPF 50, but in real world use conditions, the way people actually apply sunscreen, higher SPF ends up being better in the long run. I tried this out and it is super emollient. The fragrance in this isn't too strong, it doesn't linger, but man, it leaves your skin feeling really oily for a long time. If you have not tried this Black Girl Kid sunscreen yet though, definitely give it a try. $9.99. It's not greasy, it's not shiny, there's no white cast, it doesn't burn around the eyes. This is like seriously my favorite. These other ones from Black Girl are also good, but this is the best. Now this is a hybrid sunscreen, so this has zinc and it also has a chemical filter for, several chemical filters for, you know, broad spectrum sun protection. So if you don't like all chemical sunscreens, you want a hybrid, you know, obviously this would be a good choice. But if you're like, I'm fine with chemical sunscreens, just go with this one. It's a great option. I'm wearing this on my face, well, the SPF 100 version. This is seriously the best from La Roche-Posay. $25.99. Water resistant, not greasy, easy to tolerate around the eyes. Sun Bomb has an after sun product, soothing and cooling aloe lotion. This has fragrance, which I suggest avoiding on a sunburn because it's more likely to be irritating. But Cetaphil has a gel cream that is fragrance free and has aloe in it. I highly suggest that as an alternative if you have gotten a lot of sun exposure, you've gotten a sunburn, you know, the barrier is impaired. That's why fragrance is more likely to be irritating. I suggest the Cetaphil one. It's a better option. Wow, it looks like Neutrogena came out with a new SPF 60 fragrance-free, water-resistant fluid sunscreen formula, but this time in the clear face line. Now I adore this. This is like a all-time favorite, the Ultra Sheer SPF 60. I also like the Invisible Daily, but the clear face is again a chemical sunscreen, so no white cast. Tea leaf extract, which can be helpful for acne-prone skin because it's an antioxidant. It may cut down on oxidation of sebum that creates more inflammation and problems for acne. I need to try that because this is super good, and having the green tea extract in there is kind of nice additional perk. As a side note, those of you who are sensitive to niacinamide, I've noticed that Neutrogena seems to steer clear of niacinamide. Has anyone else noticed that? Like, I frequently find myself recommending Neutrogena to those of you who are sensitive to niacinamide. Like, it's not in either of these, it's not in the Invisible Daily, it's not in the Hydra Boost hyaluronic acid moisturizer. I really like this. This is like a gel cream, very hydrating, lightweight. Oops, as I accidentally throw it on the floor. Yeah, this was one that I recently finished up, if you saw my sunscreen empties video. Oh, this is new, an SPF 50 protect and hydrate chemical sunscreen. Shouldn't leave a white cast. It has a rose fruit oil in it that may cross-react with fragrance allergy, but what else? Peptides. Oh, it has perfume as well, fragrance. Interesting. $25.99. These were here last time from Winky Lux, which I really like their makeup as a side note. These are tinted SPF 30 moisturizers. They are chemical sunscreens, and the tint may offer some protection against visible light for those of you who are prone to hyperpigmentation. Has anyone tried them yet? I have not. There's fair, light, medium, medium deep, and deep.
Oh yeah, that.
28 bucks is a little steep. These Cheeky Rose tints, as a side note, the liquid blush. I've tried, I got a couple of these to try out, and a little bit goes a very long way. Speaking of tinted moisturizers slash chemical sunscreens, I have to give another mention to Whoa Glow from e.l.f. One of my absolute favorites. It's a great makeup primer. It does have niacinamide, so for those of you who are sensitive, be aware of that. But the niacinamide can be helpful for dark spots, for redness, for the moisture barrier, and it can help cut down on oxidative stress. And it comes in Sunlight, Sunbeam, which is the shade I use, Sunburst. I feel as though there's another shade, but I could be wrong about that. Looks like there are 3 shades here. And they have an invisible sunscreen, SPF 35, water resistant 80 minutes. In contrast, the Whoa Glow is not water resistant. So this is a good moisturizer to use during humidity so that it sort of withholds a little bit better. And it does not have niacinamide in contrast to Whoa Glow, but it's not tinted. Probably comes out clear and colorless. It's a chemical sunscreen, so it shouldn't leave a white cast. And of course there is the spray sunscreen, which you do have to rub in. Okay, you have to rub them in. It's a common mistake. Spray them into your hands and then rub them into your face. e.l.f. has come out with these bronzing drops. Now I know that the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops are super popular these days. I tried them out several years ago when they first came out. Editing me here, and I wanted to mention, if you use these, don't add them to your sunscreen to tint the sunscreen, because adding things to sunscreens like these bronzing drops can actually mess up the overall formulation and ultimate protection. So I have seen people doing that with either the Drunk Elephant ones or some other, sort of dupe versions. Don't ever mix 2 sunscreens together before applying to the face either. Likewise, it can mess up the overall formulation. I do not get the hype with those. I also tried out, they have like a pink drop that's supposed to be like a little blush, and I didn't find either product to be very useful from Drunk Elephant. So I don't know how the e.l.f. ones compare, but in my opinion, bronzing drops are sort of overrated. Like, they just haven't worked out well for me. This e.l.f. Camo CC cream, SPF 30, it is so matte. It's like very drying, and it goes on really chalky. It has niacinamide and peptides. It's a mineral sunscreen. It's a hybrid sunscreen, so it has zinc. It also has titanium dioxide and then a UV filter, a chemical UV filter. But man, it goes on really chalky and dries down very, very, very matte. Like, I could not stand this. It was almost like having chalk on my skin, and if you're like me, I feel weirded out by touching chalk. And so, yeah, this was a no-go for me. It comes in a lot of different shades, though. I will say that. So if you have really oily skin, try this one out. But it did not work out well for me. This is a sunscreen that I feel like people are lying about liking. I mean, it's okay. Like, the stick is fine, but there's just so many other options for sunscreen sticks compared to this $32 one. Like, I sort of feel like it's being oversold to you. Like, if you like the Ultimate Skin Protector Lotion, I understand, people like their sunscreens, but like, honestly, I really just don't get the hype for this SPF stick. Like $32, that is a hard sell for me. I've tried the Urban Environment Sun Dual Care before. It has hyaluronic acid, which is hydrating. It was okay. It's a hybrid sunscreen. But honestly, I didn't find it to be too much different as far as aesthetics and appeal in comparison to like Eucerin's daily facial lotion. Sunscreen for your hair strands. Okay, this product is a spray-on leave-in conditioner / heat protector / anti-UV. No, your hair strands cannot get skin cancer, but UV rays do, they can oxidize the pigments in your hair and discolor it. So if you have brown hair, it can lead to like kind of this reddish hue, and if you have blonde hair, it can cause quite a bit of hair yellowing, but also damages the proteins in the hair and can leave the hair very brittle, prone to breakage. You can get something called trichorexis nodosa, it's a type of hair damage, and then you end up just getting like frank breakage. So a UV protectant can be very helpful. I also recommend leaning into just a straight up hat to protect your hair. The other thing about UV protectants is if you get your hair color treated, a big part of what fades that is sun exposure, UV. So it can help prolong your color treatment as well. All right, and then we have some mineral sunscreens over here in the baby section from Baby Organics. They're SPF 50 sheer. Okay, don't fall for the sheer blend because it does leave a white cast. But what I like about this is it stays in place really well, easy to use around the eyes. So if you find that sunscreens burn or sting around your eyes, I always suggest getting a water-resistant mineral baby sunscreen. They tend to just be easier to tolerate around the eyes. And this is a great option, $9.99. And you can use it just around your eyes and then use whatever other sunscreen you like to the rest of your face. So that's a little tip, like if you just have a really difficult time tolerating sunscreen around your eyes, definitely try that out. I tried this Pipette SPF 50 mineral sunscreen a few years ago, and the cast isn't too bad for a zinc oxide sunscreen, but it's definitely there. And it is a pretty emollient finish from what I recall. So just be aware of that. It's not water resistant. While the EWG should be ignored at all costs, there's just a lobbying group that fearmongers perfectly safe ingredients. I will say this Think Baby is a pretty decent sunscreen as well. SPF 50 zinc oxide. This natural insect repellent, yeah, it doesn't have any of the actually effective ingredients. If you want something that is more natural, go with oil of lemon eucalyptus. It's actually legitimately effective. Check out my video on insect repellents though, because I go over all the different types of ingredients in insect repellents and compare like how effective they are in comparison to one another for mosquitoes. We have a variety of diaper rash creams here, and as a side note, diaper rash cream can be really helpful for adults who deal with chafing, like in between the thighs. Zinc oxide in diaper rash creams is very soothing, but speaking of zinc oxide and diaper rash creams, your diaper rash cream will not work as sunscreen because yes, it's a zinc oxide cream, but the zinc oxide isn't formulated into diaper rash cream correctly to form a film on the skin surface, and so you'll get clumping of the zinc oxide particles, which is fine as a skin protectant, but it's the clumping is not giving you adequate protection. There are basically holes and gaps. So just wanted to put that out there because sometimes I see people still trying it online. This is a pretty good diaper rash cream as well from Honest Company. It is fragrance free, so this would be a good option too to cut down on chafing. Sunscreens people have to be lying about liking. Okay, stay tuned because I'm going to be reviewing the sunscreens from this Vacation brand. They're not all bad, but this, I just don't see how people actually like using this. I mean, it's so oily and greasy. Like everything people are always complaining about with sunscreens being shiny, oily, and then this seems to be like one of the most popular selling of their line. I don't get it. I mean, it's really like putting baby oil on your skin. Oh, thank goodness, this is back. Highly, highly recommend this SPF lip balm, the Up and Up Sport. It's really good. Free of fragrance, stays on well, it's moisturizing, hydrating, no white cast, SPF 50. Now, if you don't have this or you don't shop at Target, you don't have Target nearby, try the banana boat version. It's also equally as good. I mean, same thing, and pretty inexpensive. It is $7, is that right? Looks like it's $7 for the two, which if I recall correctly, it was less expensive last year, which no surprise, everything was less expensive last year. I reviewed this last year. It's a pretty good body sunscreen, but it definitely burns around the eyes. So keep that in mind. Now that being said, we talked about this one when I first came in here, how I tried it out, feels very oily. This did not cause burning around my eyes whatsoever, but the body one definitely does. We were talking about the Neutrogena Clear Face new fluid sunscreen that I need to try, but this is a long-standing favorite. It is water resistant, so it stays in place really well. It doesn't burn or sting around the eyes, although I do get comments from people that it does, but they have changed the formulation over the years, and they removed oxybenzone, which I think is the reason why it stung for a lot of people. No white cast, very lightweight, great if you have acne-prone skin, highly recommend. The SPF 30 is also another option too. This is a good one from La Roche-Posay, although it is a little on the shiny side. And personally, I prefer the Melton Sunscreen Milk. Like, for myself personally, I keep going back to Melton Sunscreen Milk. Now, the tinted mineral one is a little chalky, but these are both very lightweight fluid sunscreens. Sunbalm has a mineral SPF lip balm that they never have here at Target. It's really good. But here they have the sunscreen lip balm SPF 30. You know, the fragrance flavorants are common reasons for lip balms to be irritating, but otherwise, you know, this is an option. Whoa! It is hot, okay? It is hot. It is humid. It's like I just walked across an oven. Target is clearly well stocked in the realm of sunscreens. Glad to see some new innovation. I really want to try that Sunbalm sunscreen gel. Let me know if you have given it a try. What sunscreens are you guys currently using and loving? Get excited because pretty soon I'm going to put out a video for you guys reviewing those hyped vacation sunscreens. I mean, yeah, I mean, people clearly online are lying. That's all I have to say about that Chardonnay oil. Anyway, all that to say, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you are having a fantastic summer. You're enjoying things. Maybe you are going on a vacation and this video hopefully helps you out in terms of picking a good sunscreen. Speaking of good sunscreens for upcoming travel, if you are in the market for a good body sunscreen, you're going to want to check out the video I'm going to put on the end slate where I go over the summer body sunscreens for 2024. Check that one out. But if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.